So this is my 1973 GMC Astro. I've owned it about a month now. I figured I'd do a walk around, kind of show you what shape it's in, show you what work I've done to it, what I'm going to do to it. So let's start off at the front. There isn't a whole lot I've done up here. One thing I think is kind of interesting is if you look in here, the truck was originally orange. It even says it's orange on the title. So I've not looked pictures up. I'm kind of wondering what it looked like when it was new. But when they repainted it, they did it in this nice looking red and kind of gray silver color. I like it a lot. It's in pretty good shape, but as you can see, there's a little bit of rust starting here, but it doesn't really matter. It's all superficial. I don't care. It's aluminum cab anyway. So, well, the doors may be steel, but the cab's aluminum. It has LED auxiliary lights, which I would turn on, but you won't see them anyway. They're all right. I'd rather have incandescents, but I didn't put those on. The previous owner did. They look fine though. They're bright, really bright. I need to take these air ones apart. They're pretty quiet. I need to put those caps over them so they don't get dirt and stuff in them. And as you can see, I bought an antenna set for it, but those fiberglass whips weren't long for this world. So I need to get those with the ones with the spring on them, because where I live it's pretty low, the trees, and it just took a couple of smacks to get that. So on the side you'll see it's straight piped, dual exhaust. I need to buy heat shields because I know originally they had a heat shield that went up to about somewhere around the bottom of the cab or the top of the cab there. Now the tires, they're in pretty good shape. These rears have a little bit of cupping, as you can see. Little cupping. I'm guessing they were used as steer tires at one point, but the steer tires are in excellent shape. They're nearly new, good tread, very deep tread, so they'll last the life of the truck for me, because I don't drive it as much as an over-the-road trucker would. So on the side, these are not LEDs, these are just incandescent turn signals. I'll probably end up doing more lighting down the side here. It's a little dark at night. I want people to see it. It's a big truck, right? So I made a video on this toolbox before, but here's what it looks like painted. Pretty decent. So we got a 110-gallon fuel tank. Single tank. I'm guessing this is the way it came. I'm kind of curious. I guess the more over-the-road oriented trucks would have 2 tanks, but that's what I've got. Show you the engine. 8V71, 10-speed. Powerful thing. It blue smokes just a little bit. I'm sure you'll see it in the video, but it does it worse when it's cold. I'm not too concerned about it. Maybe the supercharger seal's leaking, blow by, I don't know. I know it has quite a bit of blow by. The oil gets contaminated pretty quickly. So this is one of the things I liked about this truck the most. The farmer must have owned it, and they set it up nice. They got a gooseneck set up, and they've also put this really super heavy duty, well built diamond plate. I believe it's a 1/4 inch thick diamond plate. And they put a 2-inch receiver at the bottom. They have a space for a pencil, which I had to take off to put my trailer on because it was interfering with the trailer. And then they got the connectors set up, which I had to rewire. As you can see, I had to rewire all of this. So it involved quick taps and wire nuts and wires twisted together with electrical tape holding them together. It was an absolute rat's nest. And I redid it with this connector that has so you can see it's got a 4-pin and it's got a 7-pin. So now I need to fix this 5-pin round, or 6-pin round. Let me see. 6-pin round. I don't know that I'll ever use it, but I figure if it's there, if there's a spot for it, I may as well make it work. I don't know what kind of trailers use that. I don't know if that's an older style. I've never had a trailer that used a 6-pin round, but hey, if I got it, it may as well work. So here's the interior of the truck. I recently redid this seat with ballistic nylon. Originally it looked like that, and this is one of the things I've got to do pretty soon. Got to redo this back with this ballistic nylon, which I quite like. Looks pretty good. The air seat does work. I've got a hose clamp around it. I need to figure that out. Problem is, if I take that hose clamp off the air seat, it won't pump up. There's a tab that presses against that adjusting lever, and it's not pressing against that lever. So I'll have to figure that out. Now let me get in and sit in the seat here. So, you see, I put this vinyl stick down stuff. It's kind of like a bowling ball finish that matches this shifter, which someone else put on, but I quite like. I still have to do this panel, and this panel down here, which you can't really see. But it works really well. Looks really good. But yeah, with this big panel here, I've got to redo this, and I'm going to put my auxiliary switches in this area somewhere. I've got good big IDEX switches I want to use. They're illuminated. I think they'll look pretty nice in here. Now this panel I've already redone, and I know it's not original, but I cut this out and put a normal radio in here because it had that two-post style old GM radio in here. Didn't care for that. Window works, got different headlight switches because I got sick of dealing with the original ones. It was frustrating. I just wanted a little simple push-pull. So I got headlights, clearance lights, and tail lights. This way I have it set up. I got a CB radio, a little dark, but CB radio works minus that one antenna that's broken. I've got to change those to ones with springs. Got my microphone. I do have a dash camera in here. I need to do something with that wire, but that was one of the first things I did to this truck. That was very important to me. I have too many stupid people that nearly run into me. So, got to do this passenger seat as well. You can see it's in the same kind of shape. Back's in good shape, but the bottom is kind of splitting and rough. Not nearly as bad as this one I'm sitting on was. It was terrible. All the wood had rotted, and from sitting, it was just awful. Here's the sleeper. You can see the panels surrounding it are in good shape, but all the headliner, something else I didn't mention, is missing. So what I did is I use an undercoating. So this is a rubberized undercoating. I think it looks pretty good. I'd like to have the headliner, sure, but you know, if there's a headliner in it, you can't access anything. And, well, water damage, because the reason that headliner messed up is the seam was leaking. And I'll show you a video of that as well. Here's the seam I was talking about. I just used a spray-on Flex Seal, because that's what I had, masked it off, and it worked perfect. Haven't had a leak since. Another thing on the interior, I've got two pull cords. One is for my roof horns, and the other is for my air horns the train horns that are under the cab. I would blow those now, but I've got people around me and I don't really want to scare them because it is incredibly loud. I'll show you that when I get to another spot. So maybe someone can point me in the right direction. This panel with these indicators, the dash lights, you know, your right, left turn signal, low air, water, oil, and diff lock, which this truck does not have a diff lock. But I'm trying to get a new one of these. I don't know if you can buy these or if I have to have it custom made. I've thought about going to a sign shop, but maybe someone can point me in the right direction as to where I need to get that or get it made. And of course, you can't forget the fan. I've already ordered some auxiliary reverse lights. You can see it's got this one incandescent that doesn't work. That's not enough. So I'm going to put a light bar up here at the top and probably put two of those little pod fog lights, one on each side. Haven't decided. I've also thought about putting some under the sides of the cab so it illuminates this area at night, because this is pretty difficult for me to see at night. I don't generally carry a trailer. Actually, I never carry a trailer, so I'm going to make a spare tire mount that goes on this fifth wheel. And if I ever do carry a fifth wheel trailer, I'll just have to take the tire off and put it either on this rack, which I quite like. They made this. It makes the truck more useful. Or it'll go in the trailer or on the trailer. Hopefully the trailer would have a spare tire carrier. So if you're wondering how much I paid for it and where I got it, bought it for $4,000, and I had to drive to Montgomery, Alabama to pick it up. I found it on Facebook Marketplace, and the price was fair, condition was right. So I drove down there with my Cadillac Fleetwood. It's a 93 model. I had my car trailer on the back of it. Drove it down there, then took the car trailer and put it on this truck, and then put the Fleetwood on the trailer and drove the truck back. So this is actually my first semi. I've never driven or owned one before, so it was kind of an interesting experience driving it back. I've never floated gears in a real truck before, and it was interesting. I didn't have any problems though, so I just took it slow and easy, but it's done excellent. It did perfect. It had no problems. I'm getting, if you're curious, around 8 miles per gallon with it, which I'm more than happy with. That's extremely good. I was expecting to get 4 miles per gallon or 5, but this truck has been absolutely excellent. So that's all I got for now. Like I said, I'll be making some more videos on this truck and a few other vehicles that I own. So if you are interested, please stay tuned, and I will see you soon. Thanks.